Hi, I want to give you an update on what we see happening in the market right now. And right now we're at the late part of April and the S&P 500 is down 10.2% for the year, and the month of April is in line to be the worst market or worst one-day results going all the way back to President Hoover. And that was right before the Great Depression, and Hoover was a big proponent of tariffs. And tariffs are actually going to slow down the economy of the United States. But not all is bad in the world. So if you look at our next chart, it shows all the different markets throughout the world. And what you'll see is in Mexico, they're actually up 8.4% on their index year to date. The UK is up 3.9%, Germany is up 2.9%, and Australia is up 3.9%. The next chart that I'm going to show you has to do with the top performing ETFs, and what you'll see is they're all international. Companies like Poland and Spain are leading the way, and we're seeing a lot of spending going on in Europe right now. Germany, for example, is spending as much per capita as the United States spent on all of COVID. And if you remember, the US market went up big after the United States government spent a lot of money on COVID. And then the rest of Europe is also spending on defense and infrastructure build out. Now the next chart that I'm going to show you has to do with the value of stocks in the US, which is the blue line, versus value of stocks in the rest of the world. And in all measures, sales to book value, sales to price earnings, in all areas, the overseas markets or stocks are cheaper than the US stocks. So with all the spending that's going on by the governments over there, and then you add in the cheap value of the European stocks or worldwide stocks, you have a lot more value outside the United States. The last slide has to do with stocks with defense versus stocks without defense. And as I mentioned earlier, in Europe, they're spending a lot of money on their defense. And the blue lines in this chart shows funds that are invested broadly but have defense stocks in it. And the red lines are funds that are invested broadly in Europe but don't have any defense spending or defense stocks in it. And what you can see is you want to have some exposure to defense stocks right now. So if you have any questions, please give us a call. Also, this is a very scary time, and we're sure you have friends that are really worried about what's happening, and they're not able to talk to anyone on how they should be invested in this period. So if you could, give us a call, and we'd be glad to help you out or your friends. I want to thank you for taking the time.